Eric Muathe at Muathe.com. Now, those of us who were trading in 2007 remember this stock, JRJC, during this period here where it had an amazing explosive run coming from the lows here of, let's call it, $3-4 to the highs of about 47 in a couple of months. That was the most talked about momentum stock at the time. Let's call it sometime in mid 2007. So let's zoom in and see what was going on from a technical standpoint. Now, at the time, I did not know what I am about to talk about, which is the ultimate Muathe breakout. But we can see that from the genesis of this move, if we take the breakouts only, so we take this breakout, for example, here. Actually, we can say the breakout begins, this is a successful breakout, sometime mid-May, maybe, of 2007. So let's take a look at that time period to see what the technicals were doing with that breakout. So let's do that. And so we are talking about the breakout. Let's take that breakout. It's this month right here. Let's see whether it meets the minimum requirements. And we can see that yes, the stock did meet the minimum requirement right there, jumping to all-time highs on the RSI. And we also see it coincides with both MACDs jumping to all-time highs. And we know that when the RSI and the MACDs both jump to all-time highs, you have good odds for a momentum move. Now, if you go back to where the RSI broke out to all-time highs, so we're talking about this period here, and so we're talking about this time frame right there, when the RSI initially jumped to all-time highs at the beginning of 2007, which also coincides with the MACD moving above zero for the first time and also moving to all-time highs on the secondary MACD, and the default MACD was just beginning to print. So all the MACDs and the RSI was moving to 3-year highs, all-time highs in fact, and we can see that that corresponds with this initial breakout or this move on the RSI somewhere here. So there was already a movement by the indicators to all-time highs earlier before the breakout of mid 2007. So that was January 2007. It broke out the RSI and MACDs to all-time highs, and hence the momentum was already in the stock. Now we can also see that there are periods here after the initial breakout. So there's this move in January. That's a breakout. There's another breakout here. Let's call it May of 2007. We have another breakout after 1 month of rest right here. It spends 1 month down and then breaks out again. And even that breakout met the minimum requirements. As you can see, the RSI was jumping to all-time highs yet again there. Of course, the MACDs were also jumping to all-time highs, as we can see. MACDs were already on an uptick, trading at all-time highs. As we can see, the MACDs were already trading at all-time highs, so not a problem there. They met the minimum requirements. And so you get that secondary breakout, and that was the last breakout from a month-to-month perspective that ultimately launched the stock and took it from under $10 to about $47.5, $45 in about 2-3 months. And again, that was the most explosive stock at that particular time and period. We also should point out here, it's a big observation that the momentum, the true momentum, the biggest move came after the RSI moved above 69.1 with uniform action. In other words, the RSI moving above 69.1 was what ignited this explosive month right here. This month was because the RSI jumped above 69.1. Now, as a side note, we can see that if we draw a line right here, this can be cut in two halves. In other words, it is uniform activity above 69.1, uniform activity back below it. This means that this was a major high. Uniform activity tends to suggest that there's a change, and that change is going to have a lasting effect on the stock. So uniform activity during this period was a telltale sign that the stock was done. And we can see evidence of this because now if you take a look at the long-term monthly chart, you can see that this was a major high. Uniform activity above 69.1, and back below it, it's a major high. Yes, that's a major high. Take a look at the other periods. Uniform activity above 69.1 and back below it, this was also another major high. Uniform activity above 69.1 and back below it, that was also another major high. Just a side note, but the reason for this video was to take a look at this explosive run, which was at that time one of the most talked about momentum stocks among momentum traders. It met the minimum requirements of the ultimate Muathe breakout. If you are new to this concept, take a look at the link, or look for a link in the description of the video that explains this in more details with lots, if not hundreds, of chart examples. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. EACS.